G'day friends and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today we're going to be talking about the DSLR war between Sony and Canon. The gloves are off and I think we're going to have some interesting months coming up with the information going backwards and forwards. Does it overheat or doesn't it overheat and all that sort of stuff that's been going around in the media at this point in time. But should I buy an AS7S Mark III for video? That's the question for today, so stick around. Now since I got the Canon M50, I've been thinking about getting a full frame mirrorless camera for quite some time, and when I had the lucky break of getting to Japan last year, I went to Canon and Nikon and sort of tried out the new R and also their Z series cameras, and I was quite impressed by both of them. I thought always that the R was a little bit too chunky and the lenses were a little bit too big for vlogging and for, I guess, taking them out and about, especially when you were traveling. So I was always looking for something compact. But if you guys remember when the Canon EOS R was released, there was a lot of talk about the crippling and the things that it could and couldn't do. But I always knew it was a first gen and potentially there was more to come in the future. Now when I guess Canon received all that criticism, they got to work and they started putting together the next generation. I think that was the inception of the R5 and R6 where we're seeing advertised at this point in time. I was pretty excited about those cameras. The specs on paper sounded really good. I'm not really too fussed about the 8K part of it since I'm considering moving to 4K from 1080p. So 8K is in the long distance away. So I really wasn't too worried about that. But then all those overheating problems started surfacing. So Canon, what happened? Well, I guess we're going to have to wait and see until more production models get out to the field and people can test them and do whatever they need to do to make sure that the overheating is or is not a real problem. But from all the flack that Sony received from the A6000 range of cameras, and then the overheating, maybe Canon should have realized that they were going to cop a bit of flack. Now when the EOS R was released, obviously there was a lot of conjecture about what needed to be in the camera and what didn't need to be in the camera, but eventually people started realizing that that was the way it was going to be and they started purchasing the camera, and I think they've got some decent sales of the EOS R. Anyway, I didn't jump into that. I wanted to see what was next and what was going to be offered, and I still am excited about the R5 and the R6. The R6 more than the R5, but I don't think that for that type of money I'm going to be jumping at it pretty quickly. And then comes the announcement of the Sony A7S III, which is a bit of a game changer when it comes to video anyway. As a youngster, I've always been a Sony consumer. Everything from music and to their compact digital cameras. I've always had one in my bag or maybe two, but I've never always thought them to be the go-to camera for professional jobs and I guess detail photography or videography. And so now to see them evolve over the last decade into a company that's to be reckoned with as far as quality is concerned, goes a lot to say about how hard they've been trying to improve their range. And from the, I guess, comparison videos that I've been watching, it's great to see they've done a lot of work on their color range. They've also done a lot of work on their autofocus, and pretty much, I mean, they're the class leaders as far as that's concerned. But now, obviously, it's turning out to be more about the format wars, right? Who can come up with more pixels or higher density pixels with better quality, autofocus, stabilization. I think that's what everyone's sort of looking for from a video or videography type of camera. But this is where the confusion lies, right? If you were to compare the two cameras together just on their video capabilities, I truly think that the Sony wins hands down at this point in time. Obviously, competing a little bit with the high-end Panasonics, full-frame Panasonics, I think that's probably something that, you know, really competes with the Sony. But from a Canon EOS R5 perspective, I think with video and the overheating and the, I guess, storage problems, it really doesn't make it a realistic purchase from a video perspective. But I think the real question is, are you looking for a photography camera that can take video, or a video camera that can do photography as well? And I think once you start formulating that idea about the camera that you're looking for, you will have a better chance of making your decision. Because now, if you look at both or those key criteria such as autofocus, in-body stabilization, you're looking at things like whether it crops or not, the file formats. You know, what you're seeing is between the two cameras very comparable, I guess, specs. So, you know, which one are you looking for? And that's the question that I have to decide for myself. Decisions. I guess the decision is going to be all about cost in the end. Which one is value for money? So let's head back to the office. It's going to be cold out here, and chat about the cash. So in the end, I guess, these are premium cameras that I guess deserve a premium price. And I know there's a channel out there looking for the perfect camera. All he wants is a perfect camera, but maybe the perfect camera is not just about features and about megapixels and about, you know, resolution, but it's also about value for money. So for me, I guess even before I make a decision, I'm going to have to try to figure out whether the investment of $3,000 to $4,000 US on a body of a camera is going to be what I need, is going to be what's important. The other thing too, obviously the purpose of it. I know that I do videos for YouTube, and I do videos for other people at times as well. Now that's the whole reason why I'm having this discussion. Should I or should I not invest into a more expensive camera, you know, when these are released? And obviously my thought process is yes, because I definitely want to go 4K because that's where everything's going in the next few years. Secondly, I do have to make sure that whatever you do or whatever you film is done as simply as possible. So with the color science, with the autofocus, you don't want to be on a job and then figure out that, you know, you were slightly out of focus or that there's warpy stuff on the sides while you're filming and things like that. So it's going to be a bit of a dilemma trying to figure it out. So price and value for money is what I'm going to be looking for. From what I hear, the price of the Sony is going to be a little bit more economical, and hopefully they'll bring in some discounting when they're released in order to have a bit of competition. But right now, I'm leaning towards a Sony, but I'm not going to discredit the R5 or R6. I'm really actually looking into the R6 because I think that has everything I need to it. The only thing that I'm going to wait for until I actually hear people talk about time-lapse, because I really want to know whether the intervalometers are proper intervalometers in camera, or are they just let's say movie time lapses like we have on the M50 and some of the other cameras that are out there, like the R series cameras. Anyway, that's it. So I don't have an answer today, but I thought I'd just make a video so I can, reconsider my thoughts in the future. So future Fernando, when he's got the money and he's thinking about which one do I buy, I can sort of, replay this and sort of say, okay, that's the reason why, you're leaning in this direction. So for right now, until I get confirmation of the problems with the Canon R5 and R6 and the overheating, because Australia does get hot, especially when you want to film outdoors in Australia, that won't be a good thing for me. So I have to make sure that that is factual. I just don't want to hear on hearsay and rumors. But if it does turn out to be the case, then unfortunately, I'm going to have to lean towards Sony. That's the video, my friends. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this format's kind of cool for you guys. I mean, I'm not sure if you appreciate the outdoors versus the indoors, but obviously getting outside and doing some vlogging outside is a good thing as well. So that's it. So if you like the video, give me a like. If you didn't like the video, give me 2 likes. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Your support does help. And until the next time, ciao for now.